We'll bring out our next angler. Let's bring out Alex Finch. There he is. You did dress all up. Backstage, you said you dressed in the same color shirt as me, but I didn't know you were going to be one of the recipients. How big was your fish?
1306.
1306. Let's hear it for him. Get over there with Big Show.
Kind of what all this culminates in is that they have an awards ceremony for all the folks that catch a Sharelunker, and I think this year there were 6 of us that caught Sharelunkers in the state of Texas in 2018, and so they invited all of us to Lake Travis for Bassmaster's Toyota Texas Fest. We got to go on the stage, and they gave us awesome replicas.
And you got to put them back in the water.
The replica that I received of mine was just a beautiful mount.
Does it actually weigh 13 pounds?
Feels like it. Yeah. Yeah, they're heavy when you hold them for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. You too, buddy. And then we also had VIP access to some tents while we were there that had drinks and everything we could ask for.
There's not many people that get to go across the Bassmaster stage and tell the world how big a bass they caught. Let's hear it for them, ladies and gentlemen. All these incredible anglers supporting an incredible program.
All right, she's up there hanging out.
Yep,
she
in the other tank.
She could smell home.
Yeah.
How was your trip up?
It was good. It wasn't bad. 19's, hit or miss with traffic or slow drivers or constructions. She's over in this one.
Oh, okay.
I just have that open.
Oh yeah, dude. Gosh, she looks bigger every time I see her.
Yeah, they do.
Gosh, you just don't realize how big they are until you see them again. And she has dropped the bass babies.
Yep, they are. They're getting close to being put out in the grow-out pond.
So they turn to the black stuff that rises to the top, or?
Yeah, the little fry. So
those are that's when they're officially fry.
Yep, they're about the size of your fingernail at that point, so 4 or 5 millimeters. Basically, they're when they laid, depending on water temperature, they can hatch within overnight. Basically, try to get them as quick as they can. Put them into the hatching jars, which it's a big cylinder. It's called a McDonald's hatching jar. Circulates water in the eggs so that none of them get lay stagnant, basically. And then once they start to hatch, they'll put them into a tiny little raceway, just a big rectangular, shallow trough.
So Debbie said they get their own ponds too.
Yes, their own grow-up ponds.
How large are those?
They're anywhere from a 1/4 acre to 2 acres. They'll probably be in a 1 acre pond.
Wow.
It just depends on how many they're going to put in.
That's huge.
Pond. Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's 46 of them I think we have at the hatchery there.
So how do you guys harvest them? So I've heard the term harvest to collect them out of the ponds.
Yeah, so when they get ready to harvest them, whether it's these or our normal production bass, they'll drain the ponds, and at the bottom of the pond, it all kind of goes to the very end of it. There's a U-shape, what's called a kettle. It's about 1 foot deep, and so all the fish will end up in there with water, and then we'll scoop them up out of there and transfer them to a bucket and walk up the stairs and put them in a trailer. Based
on what Debbie told us during our tour to the Lunker bunker, 2,000 eggs per kilogram is about the norm. So 12,000 would be, just a average estimate kind of deal. Maybe a little bit under that, and so to get 10,000 eggs, that's amazing. What are you doing today?
Gonna release bass babies.
That's right.
I called the Sharelunker people a lot after I caught my fish. I always had questions about how my fish was doing. Really had to thank Kevin Story, who's our fisheries biologist on Lake Fork, for letting my son and I go out and help put the fingerlings from Sharelunker 573 back in the lake.
Oh!
Look, that's a bass baby. Oh, isn't that cool?
Several things have gone right to reach this point in the Sharelunker program, which makes this an important day for both Alex and the Sharelunker team. Besides ensuring a more pure genetic makeup, Sharelunker 573's fingerlings have a much higher survival rate in the wild because they've been safely grown to a size that makes them less prone to natural predation.
So that was one of the things that fed into my decision to loan it to you all. And I thought it was just better for her to come to the program. Thought the fingerlings would have a higher survival rate.
They will have a better survival rate in the wild because we can get them up to that size.
So you get the water ready so that they don't have to acclimate, I guess?
The acclimation more is the temperature. The oxygen level will adjust as they go, but the temperature will kind of shock them.
So can you tell me what feeds into your decision of when to release them back into the wild?
Once we get the fingerlings up to size, it's when they're ready to go, they're ready to go.
Okay. So is there a certain size where you guys think they're...
With our main production, we stock at 38 millimeters, which is 1.5 to 2 inches in length. With the Sharelunker offspring, sometimes we raise them up to 6 inches because that gives them a little bit better survival. But that puts them going out in the fall because we're feeding them small goldfish and fathead minnows and golden shiners and everything to get them up to that target size.
How many, Kevin? Is that too many?
No. You can be pretty aggressive with it.
Going back in Lake Fork. There they go. Oh, they love it. There you go. Get you a good scoop. Look at those baby bass. There's a lot of preparation that goes into catching a fish like that. And one way you can prepare is to make sure you've got the right gear. You really have to take the time to make sure your line's good. Make sure your hooks are sharp.
What is it? That one's the next day record.
Where is there a big one in there?
Oh, I'm just calling that one out.
Yeah. We're gonna put a big scoop in here. That's a big scoop of them. Look at all those Sharelunker babies. You have to really know the lake. You have to know, the patterns and the seasons and what big fish like to do. So this is what I caught my 13-pounder on. It's the Nasty Thumper 3/8 ounce in what I call the juvenile gizzard pattern. It's got a brown back, a little bit of gray, a little bit of gold in the side. It's a really good imitator of a gizzard shad. If you go online and you look at a real picture of a gizzard shad, it's going to look like this one. And then for the trailer, I kind of talked about the muddy water that I've been fishing, and this Tennessee Shad Fat Swing Impact swim bait really goes well with it. I picked this one because it makes a lot of commotion in the water, and it balances my thumper. My thumper tends to want to hunt a lot. This Fat Swing Impact, it kind of offsets it really naturally, and it makes it run more straight. And I think the really big fish this spring on Lake Fork, when Lake Fork was cold and muddy, they were really able to key in on that thumper with this Kitech swim bait. The one thing about 13-pounders, and I think it's really important to know this, is that they're going to be really broad, okay? Because a fish will grow so long, but they really have to have a really good genetic pool, which the state of Texas works really hard to do that for anglers in Texas with the Sharelunker program.
On average, most of the 13-pounders are around 10 to 12 years old.
Wow.
We had one from Lake Natchitoches. I don't know if you guys heard of it. It's a newer lake. I think it was finished in 2008, I want to say. And that fish was, right around 8 years old. Your magic triangle for big bass is genetics, forage, and habitat. And you can't do it without genetics. And so that's our main focus is genetics. And as far as the Sharelunker spawning side goes, and then habitat and forage are the other side of that triangle.
You want me to go fill this up with lake water, or?
I'm going to use the water in here.
Okay.
This is lake water, so basically what we'll do is I'm going to put her somewhat pseudo into the net, and then I'm going to try to get her to swim into the bag. And
Okay.
Pick the bag up, drain the extra water, and then we'll carry it from there.
This is exciting.
This is the hard part.
Oh, look at her, she's fierce.
She's very healthy. She's been eating.
That's,
Nope.
that's the fiercest bass in the world.
Can you, Alex, can you hop on this side and just hold her right there?
A donation to the Sharelunker program is a loan more than a donation. The fish is returned to the angler when its time in the program is complete, and from there it's the donor's choice what to do next.
Which way is she facing?
It's all this way, man. I mean, I've got.
But for anglers like Alex, the choice is pretty easy. Sharelunker 573 is going back to fork where it was caught, in the spirit of catch and release.
So she's already recovered from spawning.
Yep. Yeah, she spawned a little while ago, so. Easy with pie. Try to get a little more water in there. Good?
Good. You mean zip it?
Yeah. It's kind of
Tricky. A little bit. All right.
Alright, I'm gonna close this one.
Okay.
Heavy?
This is a giant in here, man. It's 13 pounds of Lake Fork giant. That's a big fish. I always had a goal of catching a Sharelunker. That was since I came to Lake Fork in December of 2012. The program kind of motivated me to want to come out and catch one of those fish that everybody has so much respect for. You know, these fish are not common. There's been 576 caught in 32 years. And I can kind of remember getting up in the mornings, going to the minnow bucket, and telling Tony, hey, I'm gonna come bring you a Sharelunker today. And it's a, you know, you can kind of roll it off as joking, but man, I was dead serious about it. That's what I wanted to do. A few minutes doesn't hurt them at all. She was probably in that bag longer than that when we.
No, this came out of that tank, so it's got oxygen in it.
Oh.
It's oxygen in it, like pure oxygen. So it has probably more oxygen than your live well would have in it.
Wow. Yeah, I seriously doubt she's going to stay on this bridge, but I think it's a good place to let them go. They can find the oxygen they want in the water, you know. Hopefully, none of these guys are using koi or rainbow trout. Yeah. As an angler who loaned one to the program, my experience has been phenomenal. It's been better than it ever would have been if I had released that fish directly back into the lake. My fish has helped Texas fisheries. Yeah, I'll probably get on the trolling motor here in a second, just kind of stabilize this a little bit. Turn the motor off for the show. So I really cared about mine, and I was a frequent caller, but it's just cool to kind of know what's going on during the process. It's really interesting. We got to take a tour of the facility and visit a fish. There's a good chance I never would have seen that fish again after I put it back in the lake, and I've gotten to see it 2 more times because of loaning it to the program. You know we have to reenact the catch, right? Because he wasn't with me, so I've got my thumper in the box. Oh, we can do it like that. That's good. I mean, she's gonna go fierce whenever I put my hand on her, though. We can probably start whenever you guys are ready. All right, so we got Kyle from Sharelunker here, and we are releasing.
Her head's on your side.
We are releasing a 13-pound. Try not to touch her eyes, but she's got her whole head in there. As long as your hands are wet, you're good? Yeah. All right. All right.
Roll them back.
Wow, there we go. All right, I think I've got her lip. I don't want to break her jaw. Oh, gosh. Oh, come on, stop. All right, we got her. right, hold on.
I got the bag.
Hold on, stop. All right, Jeff. Oh gosh, she's ready to go quicker than I'm ready for her to go. Oh man, she's so powerful. Here you go, Jeff. Sharelunker. You got her? Look at this. All right, baby. Please go grow larger. She's coming at you, Jeff. You ready, Kyle? See you later, lady. Thank you for the opportunity. Oh, she's gone.
That's it?
That's it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, today's exactly 1 month. So Jeff, huh? Yeah, man. I mean, it's nothing. I mean, if I was gonna put her back in the lake anyway, I might as well give her Fry a higher chance of survival, and you know, get an opportunity to help other lakes in Texas, so other guys can enjoy the experience that I had. And yeah, that fish is probably gonna grow a little bit more. I'm guessing she's probably pretty young.